What is up, Pats Nation? It is Patriots Global here with another video, and I'm getting a lot of notifications, a lot of my resources telling me about this, a lot of reporters are tweeting about this. It is a pretty big thing, and it is seeming like this is very, very, very true. This is coming from verified reporters. This is coming from trusted reporters and is becoming a pretty big story. So apparently the Patriots are looking to add another premium wide receiver to the receiver corps. And when I say premium, I'm not talking about like a little, like a okay wide receiver. I'm talking about they're looking for Pro Bowl type level wide receivers. And they are looking to do this before the trade deadline, which again, that is this Tuesday, by 4 p.m. After that, no teams are going to be able to trade for the rest of the season. We have talked a lot about trading in the past couple videos, and it has become a very big thing, especially surrounding the Patriots. Now, there is nobody specific that we have heard, at least as of yet, that the Patriots have their eyes on. But literally, pretty much everyone in the NFL right now is up for grabs. And a lot of players, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of players actually are being asked by their teams to be traded. Now, before you ask, no one on the Patriots has been asked to be traded, nor have we heard that anybody on the Patriots could be traded. But you look at the Patriots and their wide receiver position. You got Josh Gordon for a 5th rounder, and he has been amazing for the Patriots. But keep in mind, he is a restricted free agent at the end of this season. And while I do think the Patriots will find a way to keep him, it's still something to, keep in your head. You then have Cordero Patterson, who has been pretty disappointing, and when he came in, he wasn't exactly someone we expected to be top notch. But when you do so well in training camp and all, a lot of people get that hype up, and he really was not living up to that hype. He mainly was here for special teams, but look, he fumbled last game during a kickoff, and yes, he did have that amazing kick return. But is it enough for the Patriots to keep him at the end of this season? They're giving him quite a few $1 million to keep him on this team, so is it a direction that they're willing to go to? You then have Julian Edelman, who is in his 30s and is coming off an ACL injury. Obviously, he's the same Jules. He's still great. He's still him, but he is getting older and is coming off an injury. And then Chris Hogan, who's in his 30s and is also set to be a free agent at the end of the season, and has just not, and I mean not, been good this season. Very inconsistent, can't get open. Made some nice catches, but just really have not seen Chris Hogan. Sometimes people forget that he's actually on the Patriots. And then you have Philip Dorsett, who, before Josh Gordon came, he was getting a lot of reps. He made some good plays. He made, some mistakes where he should have made plays. And since Josh Gordon has come in, Dorsett, also Patterson also, but especially Dorsett has seen a drop in snaps. He's actually barely playing any snaps. It's kind of like last year. He's just getting literally no snaps anymore. So if you really, really look at it, the Patriots really only have 2 premium-ish wide receivers, or high quality, I should say. You have Julian Edelman. I'm never going to talk about that. Obviously, he's a top wide receiver. And then you have Josh Gordon, who is proving to be obviously worth that 5th rounder. But then when looking at like Philip Dorsett and Chris Hogan and Cordero Patterson, before Jules and Gordon came here, those guys were not getting separation. Brady had nowhere to throw the ball. So now, if you really look at who Brady is throwing to, it comes down to James White, Josh Gordon, and Julian Edelman. Those other guys rarely get the ball. Now, from what I'm also hearing, the Patriots are willing to give up high draft picks and multiple draft picks at that. Keep in mind the Patriots have a first rounder. I think they have a couple of second rounders and third rounders. So they are stacked. They have some decent money in the cap, but nothing too special. There is a lot of names floating around the NFL. I mean, DeSean Jackson, the wide receiver from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he actually requested a trade, but the Bucs said that they were not willing to trade him. And when I actually asked one of my resources about this, they said, remember, the Patriots are reportedly wanting a premium wide receiver, and I guess in their books, he is not premium. I also know that Randall Cobb from the Packers was on the trade block. I'm not totally sure if he is still, but I'm almost positive he still is. But is he even premium enough for what the Patriots are looking for? I also know that Pierre Garçon, the wide receiver for the 49ers, is also supposedly up for trade, and multiple teams have contacted the 49ers about him. But even he is not premium enough for what the Patriots are supposedly looking to trade for. Now, I already know we're going to get comments like, oh, yo, they going to get like Juju Smith-Schuster, or they going to get Antonio Brown, or Odell Beckham Jr. No, first of all, they don't even have the money for that. And second of all, teams are not going to be willing to give those guys up. I mean, earlier this season, we heard possible trade talks like about how the Patriots should trade for Golden Tate, who's a wide receiver for the Lions. Do the Patriots go that way with things, especially with a guy that is in his contract year, I think, and just would be a good fit for the Patriots? Is that a kind of road that the New England Pats take? We have heard that Damaris Thomas from the Denver Broncos is also up for trade, and that is someone that we also heard relating back to the Patriots. Do they look to go to him? I am also hearing a lot, and I mean a lot, of rumors that the Cardinals could maybe trade Larry Fitzgerald. I feel like that's pretty dang unlikely, but in the NFL, you never actually do know. And as time goes by and we're getting closer to Tuesday, we're going to get a lot more stories, and we're going to start seeing a lot more trades. So the next couple of days could be fairly crazy. Now, in my opinion, I don't really know what kind of premium wide receiver that the Pats are going to get with the limited cap they have. If I remember correctly, they have in the $5 to $6 million range, and most premium wide receivers are making more than that. I also want to add that I don't think that this is the biggest need for the Patriots, unless they are looking to cut or trade one of the wide receivers that we already have. Then wide receiver would become a need. But to put all of our draft picks and cap into a wide receiver when our offense already is not doing bad, they have put up 38 points or more the past couple of games, I just think that they need to look more towards the defense. You have a lot of guys up for trade. You literally have like Bruce Irving up for trade. You have Clinton Dix up for trade. I would love if the Patriots could get him. Literally just so many guys up for trade that I literally cannot keep count of them. A lot of these guys that are going up on the trade block are more on the defensive side, and the Patriots do need more of that defensive help. Yes, adding a premium wide receiver to this Patriots offense is just going to make it unstoppable, and I would not mind it at all. But I think what we also need to realize is that defenses win championships. If you look back at the last Super Bowl versus the Eagles that we lost because of our defense. Our offense was good. Could it have been better? Yeah, but it was not bad at all. It was the defense that lost us that game. And while our defense is definitely a lot better than it was last year and in that game, there is without a doubt still some holes. But let's also not forget that the Patriots do not have to make just one trade. They can make multiple. But that is it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on the Patriots possibly trading for a premium wide receiver? And if you want them to, what receiver reasonably would you want them to trade for? That is it for today's video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, as helps me out very much. Make sure you guys share this video with everybody who knows we can go to the Patriots Global family. And other than that, I will catch you guys in another video.